Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the valedictorian of the class of 2012.
Welcome, family, friends, teachers, administration, staff, and the class of 2012. Providence has led us on a journey of faith, one that we were able to make our own. No matter how different our paths, we all learned one thing. Our faith is what we will make it. God wants us to grow closer to Him, but we alone decide if we will accept His invitation. If we foster our faith, it will grow, but if we put it aside, it will wither. God has something beautiful waiting for us. But rather than simply giving us our desires, He directs us how to achieve true happiness through service to Him, often having us sacrifice lesser things so we can have the true treasure. Providence has taught us this many times in many ways. We heard an eloquent example of this lesson recently at our Mother's Day Mass. Monsignor Ken Vilo said it well in his homily with the story of the woman who had a dream. She was in a marketplace filled with signs, and at the end of the marketplace is a glowing sign labeled God's Fruit Stand. She rushes to the stand at the end of the marketplace and asks God, who is behind the counter, for the best of all the fruits He has to offer, neatly packaged in a cardboard box. And God looks at her, shrugs, and says, "Sorry, I only sell the seeds." If we expect that God will give us the fruit basket, what we want, and not the seeds, what we need to accomplish His will, and we are asking God to serve us rather than serving Him. Rather than praying to God to grant us comfort and a closer relationship with Him, we should pray that God shows us how to grow in our faith and how to serve Him. James chapter 2, verse 17 tells us, faith, if it has no works, is dead. God will give us exactly what we need for every situation, but in His way, and to glorify Him. I am sure that everyone here has had the chance to look back on our years at Providence and evaluate the impact it has had on his or her life. How different would our faith lives be if we did not have this class and this school we call our family? As we leave here tonight, we begin our unsheltered lives without the daily influence of this wonderful place, but with its spirit eternally inside of us. Most of us know the exhilaration of finding God for the first time and being filled with inner peace rather than constant anxiety. We have referred to it as the Kai High, and it can last for days or weeks. That is the way God wants us to live, to be filled with contagious peace and joy, and to see beauty in everything around us. All of us that have experienced this also know that, as wonderful as this high is, it does not last forever. Our distractions return, our burdens pile up, and our stresses seem to block out the light. This will happen in our lives. We will have a moment of excitement and be filled with joy as a result, but eventually, the excitement and the joy will fade. But that does not mean we stop living. Our faith is not always going to be exciting. Consider Mother Teresa. It may surprise you to know that, at times, even her faith was shaken to its core. She had her own darkness to pull through, but none of us would question the power and strength of her faith. Though God can always lift us up, we will fall, and others will drag us down. But we have to be willing to get back up again. Our faith can hold us through any storm, but we have to nourish it and give it enough room to let it grow or it will die. We can do that by living up to the principles we learned here at Providence: truth, unity, and love. As we stand here today, how has our class of 2012 lived our faith and met our call to service? When we entered Providence, we were challenged more than ever before to live up to our values, morals, and character. The class of 2012 met those challenges, and we have not only stayed true to ourselves, but exceeded others' expectations. With the spirit-filled guidance of our teachers, we formed a family amongst each other, supported each other in times of need, survived and excelled in challenging classes, stood up against injustice, and, most importantly, served our school, our community, and each other. We poured out our hearts so that others may grow in their faith. We did this through ministries like All School Prayer, participation in Augustinian Youth Ministry and National Honor Society, and one of my favorite service projects, Sandwich Patrol. We have lived our faith at Providence, and we can use it to continue to serve God for the rest of our lives. Friends, I pray we keep our faith strong through service as we look at a world that is filled with suffering and crying for justice. But look around you. We are the future. As servants of Christ, you are the warriors of faith, the peace amidst violence, the hope for the hopeless, and the light among darkness. Take your candle and go light your world. Thank you.